Hey everyone, welcome back to Kyber Brickz. This is the second week into Building Felucia in LEGO. So I'm so excited to announce that this week we're going to be working on a little bit more of the foundation and the terrain. We're also going to be getting some of the best 3/27th minifigures that are on the market as of right now. So let's get into it. So before we get started with this week's video, guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you guys do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. So let's get started. So first thing is first, I wanted to build something like this for my color swatch, giving me an idea for the foundation of what colors I'm going to be utilizing. So we have a dark brown, we have a brown, we have a dark orange, we have a medium nougat, and a dark tan. And this again is just going to help me get an idea for the layout of what colors I'm going to be using. As we all know, Felucia is really colorful and vast with vegetation, so that'll be a totally different color swatch, but this is just the beginning. And with all that being said, I figured this would just be a nice guideline to help me get started with this build and gather some colors that I currently have within my shelves. Also from a big bulk order that I picked up on like OfferUp or something like that. I'm going to go through all of that stuff, see what parts I can find, and that way I don't have to like order more. I know we're going to be doing quite a bit of different Bricklink orders for this entire Felucia, but I've been collecting parts for the past couple of months knowing that I'm going to be doing this MOC, so I hope that I have a good start to parts, but who knows, I definitely will be ordering more stuff. For now, let's get started with finding some things that we need. One big thing that I want to accomplish with this MOC is learning how to make better hills, also really working on trying to build the best water foundation. I've had some problems in the past, but I feel like after watching some other YouTubers do a couple different techniques, I feel like I'm ready for it. As weeks are to come, we're going to be talking about plants and other vegetation that we're going to be incorporating also in this MOC. But let's get to starting a little bit of the pathway. But before we actually get started with the build itself, as we saw in our last video, we got the black base plates to give us our dimensions, and with the brown is going to give us the workable area, as I'm trying to keep this more sort of a diorama premium look. We're going to be adding in some separatist bases or different droid army stuff or just different things for separatists. And then we're also going to be incorporating farms. So that's one big thing that I want to do this time around. I want to kind of dive a little bit deeper into doing different things, not just kind of staying with the norm. And again, we're going to want to be adding in an ATTE. That's going to be one of my highlights for this, one of the main vehicles. It would be cool to be doing one of those ATOTs, I believe is what they're called. That would be kind of fun, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it in this entire series. Who knows, maybe if we expand it and we make it a little bit bigger down the road, we can make that happen. But for now, that's what we're going to be doing. Lastly, we need to add our pathway for where the clones are going to be traveling to, as I'm going to keep this into an Order 66 theme. We got a 332nd and Ayala. But before we start doing any of this, I'm going to have to go through some stuff and pull out all of the part pieces that I'm actually going to need to make building the pathway successful. Here we go. Here are some of the pieces I'm going to be utilizing right now to build the pathway for our MOC. I know I'm going to be having to get more stuff out, but this is just a good starting point. And one thing I did talk in our previous video was how these base plates are actually going to be put together. Now, if you guys can see right here, there are some Technic pin areas, and I have some Technic pins that I'll be utilizing to actually clip all these base plates together. So that's what I'm going to actually do right now. And here is actually how it looks like when these pins are put into place. So you can see we have some in the middle and on the sides, and they're just going to clip right into their respected area, which makes these things a little bit more durable. But if you guys have other ways that you put your base plates together, please let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to learn other techniques. Here is the final product for all of the base plates, or I shouldn't say all, just the 3 that are actually clipped together. And now it is time to finally get started with getting this pathway put together. Alright, so now that we got our pathway down, I also made a special spot on the left hand side for for the Separatist base. I'm going to make my own kind of like battle scene kind of thing before Order 66 happens with Ayala and the 327th. So that's what I'm going to be working on. It's time to add a little bit more texture and color and make this thing pop. So currently this is what we have for the start of the pathway. I feel like it's looking pretty good in my opinion. Again, just trying to add some depth and texture to this. As you can see, this side compared to the opposite end, it's still kind of like a pixely Lego look, but that's okay. We're going to start adding more detail and everything throughout this entire pathway. But for now, this is a great start. I'm going to go ahead and try and do as much more as I possibly can, and then we're going to see how it looks. So here is a quick update on how it is looking. I feel like for the most part, it's coming along quite well. What I'm trying to do now is using like these tile plate, I guess with studs, I don't know the name of them, but I'm trying to add more of those to give it a little bit more texture, and I feel like for the most part it's going quite well. I'm trying to get more colors incorporated. I really haven't touched any of like the greens yet, but that will be coming soon. But for now, this is what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to try and knock out the rest of it. That's my daughter. So that about wraps it up as far as the foundation goes. We're going to continue to work on it throughout the rest of the week and weekend. Again, rolling into next week, we just wanted to get a somewhat rough draft of what this thing's actually going to look like. So I'm really excited as the weeks are to come to be adding more detail, adding some foliage, some vegetation, and some awesome plants to this MOC. After putting the ATTE on it, I realized that wow, this might be a smaller MOC with that ATTE because it really takes up a lot of space, but we're going to make it work. Being that this is the first MOC that I'm doing, I'm just going to take my time with it. I want to have fun, and I know in the previous video I said it might be like 10 to 15 episodes. I don't necessarily want to put a cap on this thing because maybe, who knows, we might expand it or do different things with it. So let's just say 10 to 15 is like a rough guideline. If we go over, that would be cool too. I want to make this thing as accurate and as fun as I possibly can, but what we're going to be doing right now is going on clonearmycustoms.com, and we're going to check out some 327th troopers that we're going to order in this video to review next week. So let's go. All right, so now we have arrived on clonearmycustoms.com. These guys are incredible. The entire staff and the owner Tyler are just awesome people, so I love supporting this company. I've actually seen them in person, or I should say have gone to the store in person in Michigan, so I will talk about that in a future video. But to get to this is everything that usually has been updated on the shop. So it looks like July 22nd they updated the shop, so they're always adding new things and stuff like that. So if you've never actually ordered from Clone Army Customs before, I'd highly recommend it. Honestly, like, this stuff is just so unique. So we're going to come over here to the realistic tab. We're going to go ahead and click on it. I personally like the realistic figs and stuff like that. So we're going to kind of cruise through here, and you can see how many different clones these guys have. And specifically, we are looking for 327th troopers. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on the heavy. So one thing I did want to talk about and kind of bring up now, like earlier in this entire series, is I know I really want to stick to the source material, but I figured I'm going to be adding a couple of my own little tweaks to it, and this is going to be one of them. So this is a heavy trooper, and he wasn't in canon as far as, or I shouldn't say in canon, he wasn't at the Order 66 scene in episode 3, but why not make it my own, have some fun with it? So we're going to give him a minigun, and we're going to go ahead and add this guy to the cart. And it actually looks like I had one in the cart already that I was excited for, so I'll just go back to one. And then we're going to go ahead and hit shop. And then, you know what, let's just go ahead and just search these guys just right away. So 327th. And so here are our troopers right here. So the RP2, 327 troopers. So this is exactly like what we need. So this one's out of stock, but I know that they have other ones specifically. All right, guys, sorry, I had to do a little bit of digging for it, but we finally found it. This guy is not out of stock. So this is a 327th trooper. This is not Bly. We actually have a Bly already, which I will show you guys in next week's video. I did get it from Clone Army Customs, and then I had a pauldron from a different company that, again, we'll talk about next week. But this is our big item for today. We're going to want to get a handful of these guys. So this is going to make our MOC incredible. So what I'm going to do is probably get about 4 of these guys, I want to say. And I'm going to do without the macros just because, you know, the clones I want, I don't necessarily want them to have macros. I do want them to have trooper blasters. No cloth, so no pauldron on these guys. I'm actually going to be getting it from a different company, and then we're going to keep the waist capes with these guys. So I want to go ahead and update, and exactly what I want. Yep, so we're going to add these guys to the cart, hit continue shopping, and then I know I have a couple other things I wanted to get as far as 327th goes, specifically looking for some drivers. So let's see if we can kind of cruise through here and see what we can find. So we're going to want one of these guys for our ATTE to be a driver of the ATTE. So this is going to be perfect. Hit update, and then we're going to keep everything the same. Obviously no macros just because the helmet fit, but we'll give this guy a trooper sculpt rifle, or trooper rifle scoped. I know I can't talk, but anyways, we're going to give that guy a rifle. So we're going to go ahead and add this guy to cart. And I think that's going to complete our entire haul that we're going to need from Clone Army Customs. So there you have it, guys. That's pretty much going to wrap up week 2's video. I know we had quite a bit of fun of actually breaking ground and adding some pieces to our foundation, as well as ordering some clones and talking about a few other things that we're going to be needing to do on this channel. I'm probably going to be doing some Bricklink orders. I got to gather some more pieces. We got a lot more to do as far as the foundation goes rolling into next week. You guys will see the complete update on that. And next week, I think we're going to be talking about maybe some plants, some vegetation, also showing you guys these clone troopers that we got in, and talking more on what the series is going to bring as far as like vehicles and the separatist base that we're going to be building. But I figured, you know, this was a good week. Definitely made progress. We broke ground, and the MOC is finally on. So can't wait to see what the further weeks have for us. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and tap that notification bell to be notified when I do drop a new video. I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.